So I'm keeping this brief. But my journey into Pure was Pure Health because I actually was seeing a gastroenterologist because I was having so many stomach issues. And I suffer from IBS from the time I was young. And I was like, I don't want this life of medication. I'm an optometric physician, I live in Hillsborough, New Jersey. And I was like, I just don't want this. I just don't want this lifestyle. And so Dr. Ostanubi, I can't remember, probably a couple of years ago, introduced me to let's get on some supplements. She did some blood work on me and found my gut health was really, really poor. And so I started taking these supplements. And within a matter of probably about a month, I didn't think about my stomach anymore, and I didn't think about having stomach issues. And I'm gonna fast forward, go into 2020, and I'm gonna read you a little something from something I wrote. But then, you know, what happened was in 2020, just everything that was happening with folks and COVID and all of that stuff. And then I just had a tragic situation this past year, in 2022, roughest year I've ever had in my life, where my son had to be hospitalized and he was really ill. And so during the time he was in the hospital and they're pumping him with medication, I said to myself, I was like, you know, this is not gonna make him any better. It really isn't. So I went home because, you know, night and day, my husband would stay at night, I would come during the day, and I just brought all the Pure supplements with me, you know, and I made shakes for him, and you know, he had his sulfur and he had all his, you know, superfruits, and he started getting better. And, you know, the hospital didn't know I was doing it, but I wanted him better, you know, and he was getting better, and now he was more alive, and he was more upbeat, and it was just like, this is fantastic. I'm gonna fast forward again, and my younger son got COVID this past September, and, you know, we did some blood work, and he's like, Mom, I'm in so much pain when I walk across the campus. My feet are hurting so bad. And, you know, he plays basketball, he plays volleyball. And so I'm like, he sees Dr. Opala, and she put him on a regimen of Pure supplements. He's been taking them ever since, doing absolutely amazing. His rheumatoid factor went back to normal, and he sent me a text, and I shared with Rachel. He's like, Mom, this is great. I feel good. I don't have cravings for sugar anymore. I'm sleeping well at night. I'm doing amazing. Can I write a testimony for them? And I'm like, okay, sure. I'm like, that's fantastic. But I say all that to say this one little thing here that I must say. Back in 2015, I started a book club for my boys, because boys don't have things going on anymore. So I started a book club for my boys and other boys in our neighborhood. And so when 2020 hit and everything was happening, you know, we were virtual with the book club. And so I started to feel as though, you know, I'm a doctor, I have patients sitting in front of me all the time, and they're so ill. And I'm really tired of seeing, you know, my community just fall apart. So I wrote a note to the book club, and I said to them, give me one quick sec. So I said, while doing so, a pandemic emerged, and I watched the devastating loss of life and the impact it has had on our Black, Hispanic, and Native American communities. And so my journey has taken me to start a new business model that will begin the cultivation of providing healthier nutritional choices to our communities. And so when, you know, I just came in as just a consumer of Pure, and Dr. Ostanubi kept saying to me, in the midst of everything that was happening in my life, my son being in hospital, I think you need to become an IBO. Like, I just can't do this right now, you know? But I researched from when I wrote this back in 2020, I researched all these companies and things and how to make people better, and nothing was hitting my heart, you know, as things I want to do. And I'm like, wait a minute, Christian's getting better. What are you doing? You know? And I said, you know what? Let's go for it. I want to make people better and healthier, okay, so they can live their lives and they don't have to go through what I'm going through. And that's my journey. And I just want to continue to share it with people, because it's amazing what it's done for me, my family, and, you know, listen to all these amazing stories today. I mean, so blessed to hear all of it. It's really transformational.